and team here at CUESA. We do a whole bunch of programming here, from putting on farmers markets at the Ferry Building, Mission Community Market, and the Jack London Square Farmers Market on Sundays, to free educational programming for youth and for adults, like this very program you're about to see. We are a nonprofit. We accept friendly donations, also friendly volunteers. We're always so excited to welcome Nafy, who is part of La Cocina, which she'll tell you all about. They're opening a really beautiful market really soon in the city, and she's going to make so many amazing things, and can't even begin for you to see them. It's just going to be so great. So I'm going to grab Nafy some things like fire and olive oil, and I will let her get started.
Hi everyone. Thank you for coming. So today I'm from Senegal, by the way, so I immigrated to the United States a couple of years ago, and I went to school here and graduated, and after that started working in the Silicon Valley and as a marketing manager, but then everything twisted around in 2008 when everybody knew what happened in 2008, so I stopped working and had my son. So when I had my son, I needed to start thinking about what do I need to do to be able to take care of him at the same time and work and do what I love to do. This is a little cool. Yeah. And so I completely switched to food because that was something that I always loved doing since I was very little. I started cooking for my whole entire family at the age of 7. And so I didn't think I would go that route whatsoever, but then with circumstances that happened, I started looking at what are the different ways living in the city of San Francisco, super expensive, not living in one income, what else could I do? So finding my passion in cooking, going back to it was the solution. So here I am, a couple of years later, to be part of La Cocina. I'm in this beautiful cookbook that features over 40 women that are from around the world, really, pretty much. It's like women from Nepal, from Africa, from Mexico, from pretty much everywhere. And it's not your typical cookbook. It's a cookbook that features stories of the plates or the cooking that pushes us or makes us think about where we're from. It's a lot of the cooking that we've done when we were kids that brings us comfort and also makes us just happy when we make them and share them with our families and friends. So today I'm making the the Brussels sprouts, which is very simple. Anybody can do it even closing their eyes. It's really simple and very easy. It's Brussels sprouts. You can also substitute the Brussels sprout with cauliflower if you want. And all you need to do is just get some baobab, which is the only thing that's not grown here in the United States, but you can buy it from me. And then black pepper and turmeric and olive oil. That's all you need. It's a very easy snack, very healthy, very easy to make that you could use to when you go into potlucks, friends and family, or you just want to eat greens. And I know a lot of people that told me before that they don't like Brussels sprouts, but the minute I make the recipe, they really liked it. So let's start. So usually what I do in high heat, I saute the Brussels sprouts so they can be brown a little bit in the outside, and then you're gonna bring some turmeric. There we go. So you put, like in the recipe what it says, you just put a little bit of olive oil, just a little bit, just so it doesn't stick on the pan. You can also actually braise it in the oven as well if you want.
You know, for some reason I think Brussels sprouts was left off the recipe.
Oh yeah, they didn't write down Brussels sprouts?
How much would you use?
Usually when I do 1 pound, I usually do 1 pound, which is not a lot, but 1 pound, and then half a teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of turmeric, and you can do a little bit more if you want more. But yeah, he said that the Brussels sprout has a delicious taste.
Nope. So the Brussels sprouts is a separate recipe that isn't on that piece of paper. The Brussels sprouts is a separate recipe that isn't on that piece of paper, and we'll throw it online for you. But I bet if you paid really close attention, you could write it down right now. It's real easy.
In a high to medium heat. Oh, we get the oil.
So we're doing high to medium heat. We quartered the Brussels sprouts. The Brussels sprouts are beautiful in the market today. Do all of them.
Yeah, I love to say it.
Yeah,
So
so
you
we
just saute them and depending on how you want them to be crunchy or you want them a little bit more cooked. So you just keep sauteing. And then, so in another container, what you can do, you can add black pepper, the salt, and then the turmeric in one other container.
So did you talk about this fantastic spice blend powder that you have going on over here?
Yes, the baobab. So
Yes.
the baobab powder grows in sub-Saharan Africa, all the way down to Madagascar and also West Australia. So that's the only place you can find the baobab powder. And it's a superfood. It's one of the oldest superfoods you can find in the world. The trees live up to 6,000 years. The oldest one we found is in Kenya, and it's 6,000 years. The average life is between 1,500 and 2,500. So in Senegal we have a lot. So there's never been a plantation of baobab trees. They've been around as long as we've been around. And so it's the reason why it's a superfood is because in the fruit you find vitamin A, B, C, it has antioxidants, it has nutrients like potassium, magnesium. So I've used baobab my whole entire life because I have sickle cell trait. And you have a really hard time absorbing a lot of the nutrients. So my body, for me, like I have to eat everything natural. I cannot take multivitamins. When I was pregnant with my son, it was very hard. I have to take, if I need vitamin C, I need to eat real orange. I cannot take a supplement of the orange. So the baobab has all that. So I don't need, and it's natural. So that's how I actually started to. So I mix with some salt.
And is the baobab the tree or is that the fruit?
The baobab tree and the baobab fruit. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a nice, almost caramel color. Gonna add these beautiful turmeric.
Oops. Too much. That happens.
Does it have a flavor or is it for
It does, and if you come up after, we can let you try it a little bit. Yeah. We were tasting it earlier. It tastes a lot like. Throw me the oil.
Yep.
Hands getting a little dry. I think I'm starting to burn.
So that's actually what we're supposed to do.
Turn it down.
Turn it up a little bit. Yeah. And then
Ah, here's some moisture. Perfect. So what is this that you're adding?
so this is just a baobab paste. I made a baobab paste. So what the baobab is just water and baobab powder.
So back to your question. What does it taste like? Tell me. Tell
This
us.
earlier when we tried it, we said that I always tell people it's sweet, sour, tangy, and nutty. But when you taste it, really, it starts to taste almost like tamarind. That's like a very familiar taste. Once you feel like this tastes something that I really know, and then usually it gets back to people. So people tell me it tastes like pear, kind of like because of the sourness and a little bit of the sweetness into it. Yeah. Can we get it? And so that's what it tastes like.
Are these recipes that you've been doing from home, like this whole time, or is some of this new?
No, I've been doing this like since I was little with my grandma. Every time she wanted us to eat vegetables, she always finds ways to do it. So these were like really good ways. These were like really good ways for her to add turmeric, which we liked, and then sometimes and then the baobab we always like as kids as a dog. Okay. So we used to have that. So that's one of the ways she's done it. She will use cauliflower. She even used spinach. Any kind of green, really. If you want your kids to eat greens, this is a really easy way to do it. Yeah, because the baobab tastes good. Black pepper, turmeric is all healthy, you know. So,
Question? Sure.
might need a little more black pepper.
If you move that one to the other one, we can see it there.
Great. Let's try that.
What is this that you're adding?
That's a baobab powder.
Okay.
Yeah, just add a little bit more to give it a little more bang.
So when you hydrated that baobab powder, what did you do? How did that work?
Because baobab powder is very dry, so because it dries on the tree, so for baobab fruit to be edible, it has to be dry. Otherwise, when it fermented, you get very dry from it. So unless that's what you want.
So is the sugar, does that mean the sugar content is very high?
No, it's very low. Actually.
Okay.
Not high at all. Yeah. So usually monkeys and elephants, they love and wait until it fermented so they can eat it. So if you go to National Geographic, you will see drunk elephants and monkeys because after they ate the baobab. So have a little bit more black pepper because this is more than baobab.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, a little bit more. So the amount of moisture, it depends on how you want it to be. If you want it crunchier, you don't have to put a lot. You can just use the paste that I made. But if you want it a little bit more cooked, yeah, I'm gonna add a little bit more black pepper. There we go. Yeah, that's
Excellent.
almost done. Senora.
So beautiful. So what are you looking for when you're cooking these? How do you know that they're finished? Tell me about them.
Usually I just time myself 2-3 minutes or 5 minutes maximum, and then if I put like half a cup of water, once I start seeing it getting pastier and then really condensed, I know it's done, and then I just serve it. And you can eat it over rice, you can eat it as is. You don't need to mix it with anything, or you can put it over baguette. I'm influenced by the French, so you can cut up some baguette with a little bit of butter on the side and eat it with that. Yeah, so you can eat it with a lot of different things.
Perfect.
So it looks like it's all done.
Beautiful.
Just
Throw a little bit of salt back
salt
in there.
in there.
Where do you get the baobab?
Baobab grows in sub-Sahara Africa, all the way down to Madagascar and West Australia. So right now, I also have a packaged food business, so you can buy from me.
And where would we find it?
Actually, it's right across the street at one market. La Cocina has a kiosk there that sells all of the La Cocina businesses that have packaged foods or even like hot foods, because we're going to start doing that as well. So they sell all that to promote and show. If you want more information, they are all right there. And so it tells about, that's the place for us. Actually, we've been in connection with CUESA for the longest time because it supports and helps us find out if our products are actually ready for market. So this is where we have a kiosk, we have a pop-up that we do on Saturdays here, different organizations. Yeah.
And that might be a great time to talk about the new marketplace
Yes.
that's popping up. Tell us all about it.
Yes, so in late spring, beginning of summer, La Cocina is going to be opening the first woman-led municipal market. It's never been something like that in the whole entire world. So La Cocina is going to be, it's going to have 7 women, 2 from Mexico, from Senegal, and also from Algeria. And so we're going to be making food. So we're going to have 7 different kiosks And then 1/8 one, that's going to be a pop-up one that people from outside or people from La Cocina who have not got all of their businesses done yet can use that pop-up to come in and then showcase their products. So we are really excited, and it's going to be at 101 Hyde, and it's in the heart of the Tenderloin, and that area needs something like that, and we are really supporting that area, trying to change it because of a lot of drug dealing and prostitution. So we are hoping that by opening that municipal market, it can change the atmosphere and then also change the neighborhood vibes with this beautiful municipal market led by women. Woo-hoo! And just bring a little bit of healthier food and affordable food as well too. So we will have prices that are going to be reflecting the neighborhood, and then also super healthy food that people can also purchase instead of just always going onto a corner store that only sells, liquor and then packets, chips. Exactly. Yeah. So, and we are very excited about that. So,
Can't wait.
yeah.
Really stoked.
And then you guys will be able to try the Brussels sprouts. You'll be able to try other Senegalese food as well that I'm going to be having it there as well. So, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
All right. So these Brussels sprouts are done.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Let's move on.
Yeah.
We're making
Mafe.
some mafe. Tell us more. Tell us what that is.
Okay. The mafe is also a Senegalese peanut stew. The reason why I have it featured in the La Cocina cookbook and I like talking about it a lot is because that's the last meal I ate before immigrating to the United States. And every time I eat it and every time I think about it, it just takes me back home. The minute in the day that I boarded the plane, or a couple of minutes before I boarded the plane, and talking to my mom. And that was also the meal that, growing up as a kid, will tell me whether my mom has money or not. When she has money, she will put all the different vegetables, she will add meat and all these things. When she doesn't have money, it's called a different kind of mafe. It will be just the basic one with just vegetables. And then we are like, you don't want to talk to mom this way. So it's also a very simple, very easy dish that really represents the Senegalese culture, not only Senegalese culture, but also the West African culture. Between Senegal, I don't know if you guys know, Senegal is like next to Mali. Senegal and Mali, we always fight. Who's the first one that start cooking the mafe? And Senegal say we are the first one that started the mafe because we have all the peanuts, we have all the different ingredients because we are right in front of the ocean, everything comes to us directly. And then the Malians say, nope, we are the first one that studied mafe. You remember all the kings and queens come from Mali, and we have the power. We kicked out the during the colonization. So it's always this fight, and so it always reminds me of that kind of a funny exchange between cultures and then between nations, and food. And that's all because of food. And I feel like food is a very good way to connect nations and also to reduce spice. That's what my grandmother always told me. When it smells, everybody stops and trying to find out where that beautiful, nice smell comes from. So, so let's start the mafe. So what we need is just a little bit of olive oil. So do we have a little bit of right there? Yeah.
Do you usually use olive oil or do you use a palm oil or what?
For the mafe, you can do either olive oil or palm oil, but because the approximity between Senegal and Italy is not that far, or Europe is not that far, so olive oil is very used in Senegal, and also peanut oil. We use also a lot of the peanut oil because Senegal also grows peanuts. Yeah, so good vegetable oil will really make a good mafe. So we're going to put you can put pretty much almost all the different ingredients at the same time if you like. So this is, we chopped some bell peppers, onions, and then garlic.
So today at the market we couldn't find any onions, so we actually used some really beautiful big shallots that we got today. Keep an eye out for them, they're gorgeous.
Yeah, so we try to buy everything from our local farmers so we can also support them at the same time. It's always better to buy local. It already starts smelling really good.
So how often, let me restart the question. Do you make this at home for your family?
Oh yeah, I make the mafe for my, okay, my son is sitting in the back actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I make mafe a lot for my kids. I try to make a lot of Senegalese dishes for them, just so they get familiar to the taste and then the food from Africa. So I try to do that a lot. So when they go there, they don't get overwhelmed, not knowing all the taste. So I try sometimes to switch this with mac and cheese. But it was hard to switch from mac and cheese to pizza, but sometimes I win. Sometimes I do win. Yeah, especially the best way I usually do it, I get them involved. I get them involved in the cooking because I found out that when I was little with my mom, for us to eat the food that she would make for us, she would make us involved on the cooking. She would put us in the kitchen, she would let us chop the onions, chop these things. Even if it's not good, you will still enjoy eating it because it's your work. You know, you're the one who cooked the food. You know?
Absolutely.
So yeah. So that's what I try to do. If you have kids and you really want them to be involved in cooking, you can register them also at the San Francisco Recreation Park. So I have registered them there, and they are taking cooking classes there actually. And
Also, a small plug for CUESA. We have a program called Food Wise Kids,
Yep.
where your child's school can come and do some cooking with us here at the farmers market on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
exactly. Yeah.
So some tomato paste just went in, and then
Yeah,
what are we putting in now?
So now we put you put the onion, the garlic, and then the bell peppers, and then it kind of browns a little bit. I usually say burgundy. I had a discussion with someone what the color burgundy should look like. So we Googled it, and then what I saw online is not burgundy. It's not like the wine burgundy from France. So kind of like a big red color. Like when it starts like that, you can pour your tomatoes, your fresh tomatoes.
Excellent.
And then so in Senegal, what's nice about this when I was growing up as a kid and having my mom or my grandmother make this, we had everything in our backyard. All of these vegetables, fruits and things, it was all in our backyard. So it was really easy. Even the baobab, to tell you the truth, because the baobab grows everywhere in the country. It's like the main tree, like when you go to Oakland, the oak trees, so you see the baobab everywhere.
It's amazing.
So all of the ingredients were right there from our backyard. So you just cook it, let it simmer for a while. And then, I don't know if you guys know this. Who know what this is? Pepper. What kind of pepper? Orange pepper. Orange pepper. I like that. So this is a habanero pepper, or Scotch bonnet if you are from the islands. That's what you would call it. I've had a lot of horror stories about it. People thinking that it's tomatoes, and they put it all in their mouth, and
Not a tomato.
yeah, it's not a tomato. So that's why usually I don't take the stem off, I leave it on. And I'll put it maybe 5 minutes before it's all done. And then just let it cook a little bit. And if someone wants it, they can put it on their plate themselves and eat it.
Smart.
Yeah, so when I do catering, I am very careful not to put it in the whole mix. That's not good. So and then when it cooks down to the brick color that I was talking about, and then you can put the, you can add the smoothies. Yeah, that's it. Still put it longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we have about 15 minutes so we can start answering some questions if folks have any.
It seems like Senegalese food is spicy. How is it that your country is associated with spicy food?
Yeah, well, Senegal was the capital of all the colonies for the French. So whatever they were trying to bring from inside Africa or that would come from Asia will go through Senegal, and then come to New Orleans. The reason why I'm putting my New Orleans t-shirt because I just came back from there the day before yesterday. And then so a lot of the spices also would come through, and then from Africa would go directly there. So it's because of that relationship between Senegal being the main capital for all of the colonies. Everything goes through Senegal. If it doesn't go to France, or it has to go to the other colonies, it will go through Senegal.
So that's a port city with
Yes.
like trading around.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then during the slavery also Senegal there's this island called the Gorée Island, and so a lot of the slaves went through there, a lot of them. So yeah, so it was a port that really had a very big strategic point, the same as in Ghana as well. So Senegal, Ghana, Ivory Coast, those West Coast countries, they play a big role. Not only in the spice trade, but also in the slave trade as well. Yeah.
The slave trade and the spice trade were
Yeah.
completely related.
Yes. Yeah.
They were not different.
Question.
Yes. Yeah, I said that the slave trade and the spice trade were both part of the same system.
Okay. So
Yes, ma'am. All right, so what are we putting in there?
now what I did, I take the peanut butter and I add vegetable broth. I warm up the vegetable broth so it doesn't get chunky. So with the vegetable broth, you mix it. It's warmed up a little bit, and then you mix the peanut butter. Kind of make it like a little bit of like a mix. So it's easier. I mean, if you want, you can just put the peanut butter directly here. But then, since a lot of times we cannot find the best peanut butter, the best one I've found so far has been at Rainbow Groceries because it's really fresh. It's really good. So the better way is to warm up your broth, vegetable broth, I meant to say, or water if you want to use water, and then warm it up and then put it through. But you don't have to really. It's just for precaution. Because you don't want to, I mean, I know that the US we like peanut butter a lot. Even if you find peanut butter chunks in your food, it's okay. But for me personally, I rather just have it to be all smooth, you know, in the dish. So yeah, so now what we do, we just let it simmer, and then you can add any spices you want. Like here we have the vegan fish sauce that we got here, and then this is very important. What's this? Yes, I love adding bay leaf. Well, Senegalese people love adding bay leaf into their cooking. So you can put that as well in there. And this one we're gonna wait for later because we don't want it to be too spicy. And this is tamarind paste. What the tamarind paste, also Senegal, the capital, Dakar, is named after tamarind. A lot of people don't know. When the French came, because there was a lot of tamarind trees in Dakar, we call it the city of the tamarind tree. But then the French came, they didn't know how to say Dakar. Dakar is tamarind in Senegalese. So they took out the H and they started saying Dakar, Dakar. But originally it was Dakar. So that's why Senegalese, then there's a lot of tamarind trees in Senegal as well too. So this also gives it a little bit of a sour taste. Instead of using lime or lemon, I usually use tamarind. And also the dark color gives it a really nice color as well too. So
That's beautiful. And where can you find tamarind paste in the city?
tamarind paste, my to-go place is a lot. If I cannot find it at farmers market, it's always Rainbow or Berkeley Bowl.
Perfect.
Yeah, those two places. Not only because they carry my product, but but I find them to be really diverse. They really use a lot of different products from diverse cultures and different places.
Definitely.
So I really like that.
So Rainbow, Berkeley Bowl.
Berkeley Bowl. I mean, I also go to Gus Market. I might as well just sit all the places my products are.
Yeah, I think you absolutely should. This is your platform.
Right. Berkeley Bowl.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just list them all. So they all have it. Yeah.
Excellent. So how long does this take to simmer and cook down?
About like 10-15 minutes or so.
Great. So pretty quick. Might be a good weeknight
Yeah.
meal. And then do you normally serve this with anything?
Yes, so you can serve it with brown rice. I usually use brown rice. You can eat it with brown rice. or you can eat it over another African ancient grain called fonio. It's called the grain of the universe. It's very small. It's almost like couscous, but better than couscous. Yeah.
Tamarind?
Huh?
Is it also called tamarind?
No, it's different from amaranth a little bit. So it's in the same family as kind of like sorghum and millet, but this one is a lot tinier, very small. So you can eat it over fonio, you can eat it over brown rice. You can also, again, go back to the French with baguette also, if you want. Cut up some baguette and you eat it with that. Or you can use it as a dip. Like we're gonna be having it for you
We're
guys.
gonna
Right? Yeah, we're
share
gonna
that
share
with
that
you
with you guys,
today.
and you're gonna have it like.
Do you serve it as meat?
Yes, you can make it vegetarian. You can also make it with meat. You can make it with chicken. You can make it with seafood. You can make shrimps. You can do it with a lot of different kinds of.
And if you were to put meat with this or in this, how would you do that?
So if you're gonna do the meat, let's say you're doing chicken, you're gonna have to saute the chicken. You remember when I put in the garlic and then the bell peppers?
Yep.
That's at that moment. You put it, you let it brown a little bit, and then put the chicken, mix it all together.
Okay, so we're talking like this is sort of a stew. So if you were to put in meat, you would put it, do it as a stew preparation.
Yeah.
Let this simmer until the meat comes through.
Yeah. And then for the seafood, you want to wait a little later because you don't want it to be overcooked. So you can wait until when you are putting the habanero, you know, like 5 minutes before or 3 minutes, and then just put it in there.
And what type of seafood would you recommend? Shrimp, of course,
Shrimp
you
is
said.
a good. Crabs is good. I mean, putting the crab legs, all that showing in there is really good. You can also put fish. In Senegal, we have this fish called the capitaine. And the first time I came here, the only thing why I was upset and almost went back to the East Coast because I couldn't find the capitaine fish. And I'm so used to eating the capitaine. It's a white fish, but it's only in the Atlantic Ocean. You can only find it in the Atlantic Ocean. So you can also use sea bass. You know, you can use any kind of. We don't use fish fillets. Usually we use the whole fish, the eyes looking at you. You know, kind of. So we don't use fillets, but because you have, when you are in a place, you have to adapt yourself with the culture, with the way people cook. So you can also use a fillet.
Okay. Question.
Black eyed pea. Black eyed pea is the one good one. Here I use a lot of tempeh as a substitute. Tempeh is a really good one. So the tempeh, what you do, you cook it separate, and then what you do, you just saute it with olive oil for a little while until it's brown, and then you can just pour it totally at the end. Yeah, so you can use tempeh if you want, and another bean you can use is black eyed pea. It's very big in there. Yeah.
Can you bottle up that fragrance and like send it?
I know. It keeps coming towards me for some reason.
I
don't
know,
know why.
sorry about that.
I wanted to go that side for you guys to smell.
We're
it
gonna
out.
bring out some samples for you guys in just a second. Yeah.
So, people with nut allergy, can you substitute it with some butter?
Yes, you can use any other. Yeah, I've cooked it with almond butter instead. And if you want, actually, you can cook it just like a touffee. Instead of putting even any other almond nut, you can use actually coconut oil or coconut butter. You know, you can use coconut instead. Yeah, coconut butter.
Great. So very easily
Yeah.
substitutable. Amazing. All right, we're gonna let other questions.
How many different languages do you speak?
Great question.
5.
Five.
All right, let's hear them. Which
Hola.
ones?
Because I'm part of a commercial kitchen that we have. It's called La Cocina, so it's mostly people that speak Spanish. So when I first came here, I was able to practice. And the thing is, Spanish was my second language when I was in Senegal.
That's amazing.
But then when I came here in the United States, there is no way you can have English as your third language. They want to be second. So I have to switch. So from French, I have Wolof, which is the native language in Senegal, which is I can say one word, Nagaref, which means how are you, and then we have French, Bonjour, ça va bien, and we have Spanish, Hola, ¿cómo estás? And then Arabic, Salam alaikum. I also speak Arabic because in Senegal, it's 95% Muslim. And then I speak Pol, which is Fulani, and that Fulani if there was one country in Africa, that's that language that we speak, Namanda, which is also how are you, and it's the most spoken language in Africa, and you find it almost everywhere, West, East, South Africa, and then so they are a mix of Arabs and black people. So they have, you see them, they have very straight hair, long hair. I don't have straight hair, right? But yeah, usually long hair, straight, and then lighter skin. Yeah. So those are different languages I speak.
That's unbelievable. I speak one language. What is it? English. And like, not that well. Let's be honest. All right, other questions?
You know, the other thing I was gonna say, yeah, you can use them as a dip. You don't have to actually even cook it, eat it with, any grains or anything like that. Yeah,
Exactly.
question?
Very delicious.
Oh, thank you.
I just think your company, though, I didn't hear what you said it's called.
The name of your company, yeah, shout it out.
So sorry, I've been telling you about where to find them and I never said the name. So it's Teranga, Teranga, and Teranga is a Senegalese word. It's a word of wood, and it means hospitality, friendship, camaraderie. It's like the way of life the Senegalese people live
This is
their
the
life.
product, this is the packaging.
Yeah, that's the baobab powder. So that's the way the Senegalese people greet people, treat each other. It's the way that we live our life on a daily basis. It's like an art. It's like a way of life. It's just like I always say. It's like this pura vida, which is another way of talking about how you live your life in Puerto Rico. So I always identify myself using that word and explain to people a better way of what Teranga means. So it's called Teranga. Yes.
The vegetable that we prepared, these are Brussels sprouts. The long skinny one, carrots.
Yeah. It's like the.
There's some carrots, and you might have gotten a piece of bell pepper. How you use the powder? Great. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the baobab powder could be used in anything and everything. The baobab powder doesn't alter flavors, it actually adds more nutrients to anything you put it in. I use
Great, Savannah. It's our product show. We love it.
So you can put it in your smoothies, you can put it in your yogurt, you can put it in your cereal. Like for my kids. Can you put it in your bathtub? You know what? It's used for beauty as well. You can use it for face mask as well too. Yeah, so you can really use it in a lot of different things. You can use it in savory food. You can use it in baked goods as well. When I make madeleines for my kids, I mix it in the mix as well. So it's really the to-go superfood that you can put in anything and everything. Yeah. So it's like we were saying earlier, it's sweet, sour, tangy, nutty, and earthy. That's how I usually describe it. Yeah.
All right, let's, before we give Nafy a huge round of applause, if you would like to come up here and try a Brussels sprout, we do have some forks. If you'd like to come up here and ask her some questions afterwards, grab some material, we really encourage that. Let's give Nafy and our wonderful folks from La Cocina a huge round of applause. Thank you so much for being here. We are thrilled. We'll pull up a compost bin. Just a reminder, CUESA is a nonprofit. We're really happy to have you. Learn more about us online, and we always are looking for volunteer support. So thank you very much. Enjoy your Saturday. We have another demo at noon, so stick around.